So we're going to have a look at my little tiny wildlife pond. It's a barrel pond, and it's not in the best position for a pond because it gets a little bit of sunlight this time of day, but otherwise it's quite shaded, and it is under a tree, so a lot of leaves drop down into it, but it seems to be coping okay. So I made this using a half barrel, which I got on eBay for like £35, I think, and I lined it with some offcut of pond liner because it comes in huge great rolls. If you buy an enormous, like a full roll, it's far too much for a mini pond. And the first time I made it, I built up different levels with bricks and stones, and I planted some pond plants in these baskets with aquatic compost, which is like low nutrient, and put gravel on top there. Filled it with rainwater, and I was really excited. I was like, yeah, I've got a pond. And then about 3 weeks later, the whole thing turned into this kind of grey, sludgy, really bad smelling kind of soup. I don't know what went wrong, I really don't, but it was unsalvageable. All the plants died. I had to scoop everything out, really scrub it all, and spent all my pocket money on some more pond plants and tried again, but that seemed to do the trick. That was about a year ago, and so this is what it looks like a year on. This is a lovely marsh marigold here. In the spring and the summer it puts out like 40 bright yellow flowers at a time. It's really, really pretty. It's a shame they don't last a bit longer into the year, but they're really nice. There's cotton grass here, which until a couple of weeks ago had these like cool cottony tufts on the ends. This is a mystery plant. This is like a survivor from the initial version of the pond. It's taken the last year sort of recovering from its bad experience, so I don't actually know what it is. If anyone can tell me, I'd be very grateful. And this is some water mint that I just added a couple of weeks ago, and there's lots of floating oxygenating plants here, and of course plenty of duckweed. I come down every few days and I scoop some of this out because it does build up really, really quickly. I've tried to create some levels in here. It's not great. It'd be nice to have something that's a bit more built up to the edge, and it is really low at the moment as well. I could do with adding some rainwater. I'd always try and have a stick coming out so any creatures can crawl up if they want to, and have a couple of things floating in here like a cork and this old bit of wood. I'm hoping the camera will focus because it's got some really cool fungi on it here. I think these are dead man's fingers or dead man's toes. They're really awesome and gross looking, and I love the fact that they're quite happy living on a sort of soaking bit of wood in a pond. We were quite pleased when we found those. I've also tried to create some spaces around here where wildlife can get comfortable. I've got little log piles, old bits of bark, and then down here I've got different little places where, where creatures could come and rest and hide if they wanted to. Trying to make lots of different places for things to snuggle in and spend the winter. I'm hoping that this will become an even better home for wildlife over the years. We did do a little dip. I'll show you over here just before we made this. So we did a little dip and found, what did we find? We found a lot of shrimpy guys, a couple of snails, which I think are ones that I put in there, oxygenating. There's a tadpole over here. Let's have a look. There we go. Oh, there it is. It's just getting its back legs. It's got its cute little frog legs. Leeches, mosquito larvae. So I'm hoping that we get more of a variety of things as the pond moves on into its second year. It's been really fun having it in the garden. It's really nice for the kids to have a look at because it's a bit raised up. I could put a mesh over it. That would probably be ideal if the kids are spending more time unattended in the garden as they get bigger for safety, but right now it's been pretty safe, and yeah, I wish I had room for a bigger one really. And that's my pond.